What is up, guys? Welcome back to another episode today of the My Player Career Mode. We have episode number 21 for you all to enjoy today. If you missed yesterday's episode, we did have an episode yesterday, and we did have a few games in that one. We even scored, or Ben scored a pretty nice goal, to be fair, and if you missed it, definitely recommend you guys go back and check it out. But today's episode, regardless, we've got 3 games to come. However, when you look at the title of this video, you may be thinking, what on earth am I talking about? You'll have to wait to the end of the video to see what happens regarding this, title of today's video, in that of hashtag big movements coming. You'll have to wait and see why that is later on in the video. Without further ado, though, we're going to jump straight into the episode today. So, as well, I just want to quickly apologize if it is a little bit shorter than usual, or as it has been the past couple of episodes. Of course, I'm trying to make these longer, but we only played 3 games in today's episode instead of the 4 that we have been playing recently. That was down to the fact that actually when you're watching this at 4, I had to wake up and record this morning, and I was actually out last night on the Saturday watching boxing, so I didn't get back till quite late in the morning. So sadly, I ended up oversleeping and only just managing to be able to record this and try and get it out for you guys at 4 PM UK time. But hopefully you guys will still enjoy it regardless. The games in today's episode actually are fairly important because we've got this one here against Watford, who we've enjoyed quite a good start to the season so far. And of course at Spurs, we're looking to improve where we've started with and trying to get Ben up there and trying to make sure that Ben's playing well. And it was actually Spurs with the first chance of this game. Ben with a cross towards the back, which was an overhit cross in many ways, but even so, it found its way to the head of his teammate. He nods it down into the path of Shaqiri, who hits a first-time volley past the goalkeeper to make the score 1-0 to the visitors here at Vicarage Road. So, as I say, the games today, we've got Watford, we've got, I do believe, top of the table West Ham United as well, surprisingly enough, and also Carabao Cup fixture as well against Crystal Palace. So we want to pick up 3 wins from 3, and so does Ben and the boys, and as you can see, Shaqiri got us off to a very good start indeed. You have to admit, though, I was pleasantly surprised when I saw that leave Shaqiri's boot first time and actually go into the bottom corner, but regardless, that was a very, very good volley, and Ben, I guess, was involved in the build-up, just not quite to get the assist because it was the header down from Fabinho that will be picking up the assist on that one there. So, decent start to the game. It took us until the second half, but at least Spurs found the breakthrough. And at that as well, Ben decided, or rather the manager decided that was it for Ben on the day. He was a little bit kind of struggling for fitness, if you will. He came into this quite not on full fitness and not on full conditioning. And so on came Eriksen. Not a bad little replacement, is it, when you have Christian Eriksen on the bench ready to bring him on in place of Ben. As he at least got a handshake, though, from Pochettino saying thank you very much. And the second goal of the game actually comes from the substitute appearance of Christian Eriksen for Ben. I have to give major credit to Eriksen here. This is brilliant. He picks up the ball in the area. He's got about 2 or 3 defenders near him, keeps his composure, keeps his cool, goes back around the outside, I guess, and ends up hitting it past the goalkeeper at the near post. You can see that's not an easy chance there for Eriksen, but he still did the business and applied the finish that it required as well to make the score 2-0. And a Font in between the sticks for Watford, of course, a very good young goalkeeper. Sadly, for the home side, could not keep Spurs out, and it was going to be, or it did look like it was going to be, Spurs picking up 3 points from the first game here. And Ben didn't even have to do anything. I suppose he did put the cross in for Fabinho to win the header, but other than that, he had a fairly quiet game. So, yeah, I guess it's always nice when Ben doesn't have to play well for Spurs to win the game. That's also the bonus. So, 2-0 win here, guys. As you can see, the referee brings it to a close, and it was the 3 points picked up for Spurs in the first game of the day, which is always what you want to see. And I actually saw that Jonas started this one over that of Janssen or Harry Kane. So at least, you know, he's doing a bit of variety, I guess, is Pochettino. Starting Janssen in some of the games, then switching to Jonas, and then hopefully down the line, Harry Kane will get a couple of starts here and there. But the other games there, as you saw, I am trying to keep tabs as well on how Ipswich are currently getting on. We will be showing you a league table at the end of today's episode, so you guys can see who is currently where within the division. And as you saw, I don't know if you saw that, Arsenal drew 2-2 with Chelsea. So I guess a London rivalry there. It was all square at the Emirates. On the other hand of that, though, we've actually going to have a game now against Crystal Palace in the Carabao Cup, which is kind of strange because, you know, should Ben be featuring in these games? I mean, fitness-wise, he's okay to do so. You know, he's not like he's unfit or anything. He's fairly good and can still play in these games. But I'm more thinking about injuries and stuff like that. So for a third-round Carabao Cup game, I was fairly surprised to see Ben obviously picked for this one and maybe risked. But when, as I say, you've got Eriksen on the bench, it's like Eriksen can come into the team and do exactly the same job that Ben is currently doing. So they can honestly switch and play any game, any time, and it wouldn't be like having a difference between the two cams. I'm just surprised as well that we're not actually playing Eriksen alongside Ben, or that Pochettino isn't doing that, because I think if you played like either Ben out on the left or maybe Eriksen out on the left or Eriksen on the right and then Ben down the middle, I think they'd actually have a better time than maybe playing somebody like, I guess, Perisic or something like that. But, I mean, Shaqiri's playing well at the moment. You can't really take him off. He's doing his job, I guess, and doing very well indeed. And 5 minutes into this one against Palace, guys, Ben should have opened up the scoring. He picked it up on the edge of the area, sent his effort goalwards, and it came back off the top of the crossbar, sadly for Ben. He thought he found the breakthrough, thought he was going to get a pat on the back from his manager, but Pochettino sadly doesn't get to celebrate because it did hit the top side of the crossbar and go over. Into the 20th minute now then, guys, and it was all Spurs at this stage. They were piling on the pressure, looking to find the breakthrough here at Selhurst Park. Good work from Ben, gets the ball eventually into his teammate after it was then flicked around the corner to another team. I think it was Wanyama with the shot there, and it ended up going straight at the goalkeeper, and he made a decent stop. Ben fighting for possession now on the edge of the area, flicks it through to Janssen, who was so close to making the score 1-0 to the visitors. How on earth that ball didn't cross the line? It was so close. And then we went into the second half. Spurs again piling on the pressure, keeping it up here. Ben, a little bit of space, great turn from him, cuts it on the edge of the area, tries to finesse it into the top corner, and once again, the crossbar is our kryptonite. It just won't go in for Ben or for Spurs on the day. And he picks up the ball again here, though. Sadly, though, he didn't have any chance after that one. And after 90 minutes of being played of Carabao Cup football, it was going to extra time. So in a game that literally, I think Palace had 2 shots, and they weren't even worth showing because they were just kind of like mediocre shots. It would look like it was going to be a frustrating day for Spurs, because not only did it end at 90 minutes 0-0, it ended at 120 minutes 0-0, which meant it was time for a penalty shootout. Of course, I love a good old penalty shootout. You guys, I'm sure, love a good old penalty shootout. And as you can see the match facts there, Spurs totally dominant, but couldn't get the victory. And actually, this is the first time I'm playing with the new penalty system, which of course is the you take 1, I guess, with Palace, and then Spurs will take 2, and then vice versa. So Palace score first. Shaqiri steps up for us. He goes down the middle, scores his spot kick. Harry Kane then steps up, as I said, with this new system. So Spurs to take 2, then Palace will take 2 after this. Kane with an absolutely solid penalty. That was a tremendous spot kick. Then Williams steps up for Palace, goes the same way as Kane. This time, though, he has to use the crossbar, and it ends up dropping in. And then Kelly up for Palace after that. After he gets his second of the 2 for Palace. It ends up being saved by Michel Vorm as he goes down the middle. Alderweireld stepping up for Spurs now, going to the right-hand side and slotting it in to the bottom corner before Ben will step up for his second penalty in a shootout after he did it for England, and he scores in this one as well. So 2 penalties in 2 penalty shootouts so far for Ben, and he scored them both. 1 against Germany in the World Cup. This one, in much less, I guess, big terms. It's only a Carabao Cup round 3 appearance against Palace, so not quite as good as a quarter-final of the World Cup against Germany. But Benteke steps up and scores. Now it's up to Townsend to keep Palace within this shootout. He's going to go and step up and use the post. A solid spot kick from Andros Townsend there. And it's all over to Ivan Perisic for Spurs. If he scores, they're through, and they have scored all 5 of the spot kicks, and he does, in fact, score. Solid penalty, guys. That is now 5 spot kicks out of 5 for Spurs in the shootout, not missing a single penalty. Clinical is all I can say after that, but especially Ben, again, his pressure, he's got to take a penalty in a shootout. Admittedly, he only has to take one in a big stage in the World Cup, and he scored that one against Manuel Neuer. This one's a little bit different. This one's against Crystal Palace in the Carabao Cups. But still, he had to score it, and score it he did. So for Palace, a little bit of heartbreak. They're out of the Carabao Cup, but, after the match facts and stuff, and after you saw what you saw, it's probably fair. Wayne Hennessy, he had a semi, I guess, decent game in the aspect that he managed to keep us out, even when we were having shots on target. But by the match facts, guys, you would have liked to have said that Spurs, were going to go through in that game. So, yeah, it's nice to get through. I didn't really want to have to use a penalty shootout to do that. But Ben, he scored his. The rest of the boys, they scored theirs. 5 out of 5, as I said. So in terms of a penalty shootout, job done from Spurs. Now, we move into what could be an important game in this series, guys. Because Spurs taking on West Ham at Wembley. West Ham have won 5 of their first 5 games in the Premier League. They're unbeaten with a 100% record currently. So, taking on Spurs here, you would like to think that maybe this was going to be a very hotly contested game, this one. So, again, we're playing at Wembley, and actually, for the first time I think I've seen in the Premier League this season, not only does Harry Kane start a game, that is correct, he is playing up front for us today. It's also Eriksen starting a game alongside Ben. So, as I said earlier, I wanted to see whether or not it was going to work out. And as you can see, that's the team. Eriksen starting on the right with Ben and Perisic out on the left. Harry Kane up top. So, it's a start for Harry Kane and it's a start for Eriksen as well. The West Ham United team was that one on the screen. A newly addition of, I do believe, Den Donker was playing at CDM for them. But still, guys, it was going to be a tough game, this one. As I say, West Ham with a 100% record, 5 out of 5 wins so far. It's going to be quite interesting to see if Spurs and Ben can get the job done today. And the first chance took 60 minutes to appear. Harry Kane in the side today does exceptionally well to feed this to Ben. And you have to say, that is just a composed, clear finish, lovely little side-footed, left-footed strike into the bottom corner as he runs over to give his manager a hug there in Pochettino and say, thank you for putting your faith into me. Thank you for giving me the game time that I require here. And Wembley was bouncing. 25, 30 minutes to go in the game. I don't even know why I said 25. It is 30 minutes. It's only 60 minutes in. For some reason, I thought it was 65. But no, it's 60 minutes in. So 30 minutes to go plus injury time, guys. And that was the only chance in the first 60 minutes. So I can see why West Ham are top of the table. They've only conceded 1 goal in the first 5 games before we went into this one here. And that is how they've managed to, they've had a good defence. They've managed to get the victories when they needed them. And so to score against them was going to be a tough affair. So I'm just thankful that even when we got the first chance, it did go in. Great finish from Ben. Spurs lead here. 3 minutes from time now. As you can see, it was West Ham trying to get back into this, but it was actually Spurs who caught them here. Heung-min Son going through, and it could have quite easily been 2-0 there. But a good stop from the goalkeeper denies us that opportunity. And in the 90th minute we go, guys. West Ham could not do it. They could not find an equaliser there. Unbeaten run comes to an end. Their 100% record also coming to an end. I'm very, very happy with that one. Good work from Ben. Great work from Harry Kane. Kane picking up man of the match. It was 0.2 rating in it between the two of them. But I suppose you have to say Harry Kane, when he got into the side, without him turning those 2 defenders and laying the ball across, it wouldn't have been possible for Ben to slide home. So it is going to be a 1-0 victory. It is going to be 6 points from 6 in the Premier League games today, and also an advancement within the Carabao Cup. That's also to come. So next episode, it looks as if we've got a game against Cork City, and I'm pretty sure we're playing Ipswich as well. So Ben's former club that he was on loan last season to is going to be played within the next episode. So as I'm showing you the league table here, guys, you can see West Ham, 5 wins, the single defeat on 15 points. Spurs currently making up second place on 13 points, 4 wins, 1 draw, 1 defeat. Leicester in third, Swansea in fourth, surprisingly. Of course, it's still early doors yet. United, Watford and Reading having game in hands though, and of course they still need to play theirs. They've only played 5. Palace, Everton, the other teams, and I think Brighton are the other one with the game in hand there, so that it must be those 6 teams playing against each other on the Sunday possibly, maybe even the Monday. But Liverpool down in 16th, guys, which is kind of interesting and weird to see. And as you saw there, Hull City, Brighton and Ipswich making up the bottom 3. But moving on to what I was saying about today's episode, it's a post from DJ Wood, the legend himself. Happy to be able to finally announce I have agreed to become PSG's chief negotiator. I will take up my new role on the 1st of the 1st, 2019. Watch this space. Big movements coming. So, of course, that's when the transfer window opens, guys. Leaving rumours. Where is Ben going next? If anywhere, that is, of course. He could stay at Spurs. We never know. Maybe DJ Wood is just trying to stir up some rumours, but regardless, he is going to become PSG's chief negotiator. Of course, he did retire at PSG, so they have offered him that role, and he will take that up in the next transfer window in January. So I'm sure PSG are going to have a lot of money to spend, and it's going to be interesting to see who they bring in with DJ Wood as the chief negotiator. Other than that, though, guys, that's it for today's episode. If you did enjoy it, a like, rating would be greatly appreciated. As always, guys, thank you for your continued support on the channel. I really do appreciate it. I'll hopefully see you all again at 6 p.m. tonight, guys. If not, it will definitely be 4 p.m. tomorrow. Catch you all soon, guys. Adios.